Welcome to the very beginning of our Decan Walk together, where we are tracing the sun's journey around the zodiac wheel throughout the course of a year. Our sun moves 1 degree pretty much every day and takes us through 30 degrees every time we meet a new zodiac sign. And the Decan Walk divides that zodiac sign into 3 parts: a beginning, a middle, and an end. And today I'm talking about the very first sign. We are literally crossing the equator today, the equinox equator, if you like, moving from Pisces, the end of our zodiac year, into the very beginning, the first sign of our zodiac wheel. And the first sign is Aries. And in tarot, the card that embodies the energies of Aries in this Rider-Waite deck is the Emperor. And what we see here is a person, a man on a throne, this masculine energy sitting with sheer power and force. He is like a coiled spring waiting to burst at a moment's notice into action. And we know that in the springtime, the time of Aries, there is enormous force for growth. We see shoots bursting through the soil at this time, leaves appearing as if from nowhere. We have this raw surge of power in the energies of the heavens at this time. And so we're looking at the qualities here of what Aries is offering us. Where can we harness this raw surge of power? And I'm going to use a myth to tell each decan story, and I'm going to start by telling a myth today for this umbrella sign, this umbrella zodiac sign of Aries. And the myth points to the 2 bright stars that are in the sky in the zodiac sign of Aries, and they are Sheraton and Hamel. And Hamel means ram's head. And so the myth that I'm going to use to explore the energies of Aries is the golden ram. And we know the golden ram from the golden fleece, but this is not that myth. That's a myth for later. This one is the golden ram, and it's a classic tale of the wicked stepmother. And we have a king and queen who have children and then get divorced, and then enters the wicked stepmother queen. And she comes in and is then worried that her inheritance will be taken by the 2 children from the former marriage. So she hatches her evil plan, and she somehow sabotages the crop that's about to be sown for the later harvest. And so the king, not knowing of this plan, senses that his crops may fail, and so sends a messenger to call on the oracle at Delphi to give some advice. The wicked queen intercepts or brides the messenger on their return and tells them that they should tell the king that in order to save these crops from failure, that he should sacrifice his 2 children. This is Phrixus and Helle, his children. The mother, on hearing that her children are about to be killed, is really devastated, and takes her concern to the gods and prays to the gods, asking for their help, asking for their support. And this is where we enter the Aries energy. Hermes sends immediately golden ram, and this golden ram leaks into action, bursts through into the children's room and carries them off into the sky, flying out across the skies. Now we see here the idea of this energy of Aries as taking a decision and immediately acting upon it, feeling an impulse and just doing it. This is the ram energy. We think about rams literally butting their heads, not thinking about the consequences of where they're putting their energy. And it can have consequences. As these children move on the back of the ram through the skies, the daughter, Helle, falls to her death. She can't hold on tightly enough to the fleece of the ram. And so we see there can be negative consequences to impulsive action without contemplation or without thought. But Phrixus, the sun, lives on. He's carried to safety. And as a thank you to the gods, he makes a sacrifice of this golden ram. And so the golden ram we now see immortalized as these stars, as the constellation of Aries, our figure for the Aries energy. So this mythology takes us on a bit of a journey. We have the very first idea of Aries energy as this impulsive thought, quick action, decisive action. Then we have the idea of this forward momentum, the journey that's taken or the rescue that's made. And then we have this idea of the outcome, the leadership that Phrixus took to sacrifice the lamb and give thanks to the god, those leadership qualities, but also this outcome, this celebration of life as he makes it to the other side. And so we have different qualities here of Aries to explore. And I'm going to be using these particular sort of ideas of Aries as we move and tell each myth in the beginning, the middle, and end decans of Aries in the next following Decan Walk videos. So as we close here today, I would just like you to think about what qualities of Aries you may like to take on as we enter this time of raw power. Maybe you need to reclaim your power, step into your power, step into your leadership. Maybe you need to be more impulsive and act quickly and without hesitation and stop procrastination. Maybe you need to find this energy to carry you and give you some forward momentum so that you can get things started. Maybe a new project, maybe a new direction in your life. Have a think, we'll be exploring these more, but our Emperor here today is asking you to think about this. What aspects of yourself would you like to harness these energies with to drive you and feel more into this Aries energy as we move through the next 30 days of Aries?